Sarnath. Sarnath is one of the four most important places of pilgrimage for the followers of Buddhism from India and across the globe. It is located 10 kilometers from Varanasi in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. This is where Gautam Buddha taught his disciples and asked them to spread the message of Buddhism. The other three important holy spots are Lumbini in Nepal, where Buddha was born, Bodh Gaya in Bihar, where he attained enlightenment, and Kushinara in Uttar Pradesh, India, where he passed on. Sarnath is also famous because of its Sri Digambar Jain temple in Singhpuri, Sarnath. It is the birthplace of the 11th Tirthankar, Sri Shreya Sant Bhagwan. Sarnath is where 4 of the 5 Kalyanak, meaning the auspicious life events of this Jain religious leader, took place. Sarnath has been known by various names such as Mrigdav, meaning deer park, Mrigdaya, Rishipatna, and Isipatna throughout its long history. Sarnath is also referred to as Isipatna, meaning the place where holy men land in the Pali dialect. Isipatna was so called because this is the place where sages bathe in the Anuttatta lake after their contemplation in the Himalayas and before coming to the habitation of men in search of alms. Sarnath. The name itself comes from the Sanskrit word Sarnagat, meaning Lord of the Deer. Legend has it that Buddha took the form of a deer and offered his life to a king, just as the king was about to kill a doe. According to the chronicles by Zhan Zhang, a Chinese Buddhist monk, scholar, traveler, and translator who traveled to India in the 7th century, the deer park was a forest given by the king of Varanasi, earlier known as Banaras, where deer might wander freely. The deer park at Sarnath is active even today and hosts public classes and workshops for classical Indian languages, philosophy, healing arts, and meditation. It is said that in the 5th century, after his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, Lord Buddha travelled to Sarnath to teach his former 5 companions, Kondana, Badiya, Vappa, Mahanama, and Asaji. These 5 monks in turn became enlightened by Buddha's teachings and founded the Sangha, meaning the community of the enlightened ones. Buddha's first sermon was given in the deer park at Sarnath, explaining the 4 noble truths and the 8-fold path to end suffering and attain enlightenment. Soon the Sangha had grown to 60 in number, so Buddha sent them out in all directions to travel alone and teach the Dharma, thus initiating the spread of Buddhism across the world. Buddhism flourished in Sarnath partly because of kings and wealthy merchants based in Varanasi. By 3rd century BC, Sarnath had become an important center for the arts, especially during the Gupta period, that is, 4th to the 6th century AD. In 7th century AD, when Zhan Zhang visited Sarnath, he found 30 monasteries and 3,000 monks living there. At the end of the 12th century AD, Sarnath was sacked and plundered by Turkish Muslims, reducing much of its original architecture to rubble. Even today, Sarnath has tremendous historical and religious significance. There are several monuments in Sarnath that are a must-see for visiting tourists. For example, the Dhammeka Stupa, an impressive 31 meters high and 28 meters in diameter. The stupa is where Buddha delivered his first sermon. The Dharmarajika Stupa was built during the reign of King Ashoka in 3rd century BC to keep the relics of Lord Buddha. The Chaukhandi Stupa is an important Buddhist stupa. It marks the place where Lord Buddha first met his disciples and was built in 5th century AD. The Ashoka Pillar is an impressive stone structure 15 meters in height with 4 lions at the top, facing different directions. It is the national emblem of India and a mark of Emperor Ashoka's visit to Sarnath. The graphic representation of the Ashoka pillar and the words Satyamev Jayate, meaning truth alone triumphs, have been adopted as the official emblem of India. Ashoka pillar consists of 3 parts with the 4 lions, the Ashoka Chakra and the lotus. The lions symbolize King Ashoka's reign as well as Buddha's royal lineage. The Ashoka Chakra, also a part of the Indian national flag, contains sculptured images of animals, namely a lion, a horse, an ox, and an elephant with a wheel that has 24 spokes. The motif of animals following one another is symbolic of the eternal cycle of existence which continues endlessly, life after life, because of our desires and cravings. The same 24-spoke wheel is part of the Indian flag and is called the Ashoka Chakra, or the Wheel of Dharma. The 24 spokes of the wheel also represent 24 hours of the day. The inverted lotus is where the Ashoka Chakra rests. The flower is also a notable symbol of Buddhism and India's national flower. The Sarnath Archaeological Museum has more than 6,000 sculptures and artworks. Similar to a monastery in structure, the massive complex has 5 different galleries showcasing artifacts from 3rd century BC to 12th century AD. Another place to see in Sarnath is the Thai temple, set amidst lush gardens, decorated with thangska, which are Tibetan Buddhist paintings. The temple houses a statue of Shakyamuni, another name for the Buddha. Sarnath can be visited any time of the year, although October to March is a time preferred by many tourists. Sarnath is a place that contributes greatly to India's cultural structure and also holds the roots of the origin of Buddhism. P.T. Usha. P.T. Usha or Pilavulakandi Hikeparambil Usha is a famous Indian athlete who ruled the race track field with a super speed. Golden Girl, Udan Pari, Fairy Who Flies and Paioli Express are the many nicknames given to the Queen of Indian track and field. P.T. Usha was born on 27th June 1964 in a small village called Paioli in Kerala to a poor family. Her journey on the track started in 1979 when she was 15 years old. When P.T. Usha was in grade 4, her physical education teacher made her race with the school champion who was in grade 7. She won that race and that was a start on the track field. Her first few medals on the world stage came soon. She won 4 gold medals for India in 1980 at Pakistan Open National Meet and a gold medal in 1982 at the World Junior Athletics Championships. She started winning the 100-meter and 200-meter races worldwide. Her mind was now set on 300-meter and 400-meter race and hurdles at the Olympics. At the tender age of 16, she qualified for the 1984 Olympics and is still the youngest Indian athlete to qualify. Her coach Nambiar Sir had discovered that she had a good strike pattern and frequency. She was a smooth runner but so far had lacked the exposure to any international competition. She had no idea how fierce her fellow runners would be. But in the pre-qualifiers, she beat the silver medalist racer. This experience gave her tremendous confidence. The Golden Girl confidently went on to run in the Olympics with this win in the pre-qualifiers under her belt. In the actual race at the Olympics, she blazed it through the tracks but missed a bronze medal in a nail-biting finish. Her foot was in the front, but the other racer had put her chest out and crossed the finish line. It was the photo finish that ultimately decided that P.T. Usha would not get a medal. She had missed the medal by a 100th of a second. P.T. Usha was disappointed but did not give up and kept practicing patiently. She emerged a winner in 1985 at the Asian Track and Field Championships in Jakarta, where she set an Asian best record of 55.42 seconds. It is still the best national record for India. In the 1988 Olympics, her performance was clouded by a nasty heel injury. The young girl had to battle language barriers and hence was lonely at the Olympics. The experience was very difficult for her. She was in pain and lost out in the heats itself. She came back home nursing her injury and had to deal with public anger for a defeat after high expectations. She dealt with the anger of her fans patiently, and after a long recuperation period, she started practicing on the track again. Then came the 1989 Asian Championships. P.T. Usha was determined to win and show the world that she was the same speedster, the Paioli Express. She participated in all 6 events and won 4 gold and 2 silver medals. India's Udan Pari was flying across the track and was unbeatable. Running and winning wasn't always easy. At times, she would be scared looking at other racers who were muscular and stronger. But she overcame this fear and kept her mind on winning. The Beijing Asian Games was a challenge she couldn't give up. It was here that she won 3 silver medals despite having very little time for practice. After proving her speed to the world, PT Usha decided to retire from athletics in 1991 and got married and had a baby soon thereafter. But she could not give up running on the track. She surprised the world by winning 2 bronze medals at the Asian Championships in Fukuoka, Japan 1998. At the age of 34, she set a new record at 23.27 seconds for 200 meter in Fukuoka, where she beat her own previous record of 24.29 seconds from the 1994 Asian Games of Hiroshima. She was honored with titles such as Sportswoman of the Millennium and Sportsperson of the Century by the Indian government. PT Usha was awarded the Arjuna Award in 1983 and the Padma Shri Award in 1985. The Golden Girl had won a total 101 medals for India until she retired in the year 2000. Out of these, the most significant were 4 gold medals in 1980 at the international meet, 5 gold and 1 bronze medal at the Asian Track and Field Championship in Jakarta. She won the medals in the 200 meter, 400 meter, 400 meter hurdles and 4x400 meter relay categories. She won 3 silver medals at the Beijing Asian Games in the 4x100 meter relay. With 5 gold medals, Usha holds the world record for the most gold medals earned by a female athlete in a single track meet. Usha was recognized internationally with titles such as Asia's Sprint Queen, Greatest Woman Athlete 1985, Best Athlete in Asia, and Adidas Golden Shoe Award for the best performance at the Seoul Asian Games in 1986, where she won 4 gold and 1 silver medal. Her contribution to Indian athletics didn't stop here. She started the Usha School of Athletics in the year 2002, committed to discover and train young girl athletes. Her school is free and provides the best coaching facilities for girls at the grassroots level. It is said that the school has created 8 international athletes and 2 Olympians till 2017. She is determined and dreams that one day her students will bring home the medals she missed at the Olympics. A girl from a small village who went on to become the Golden Girl, a legend for India, PT Usha is a true Udan Pari who flew across the world with the Indian flag fluttering proudly.